Why must everything come through Lagos? Like anybody will import anything, the container must land for Lagos. And they get other options where they fit create other seaports. Why must everything land and come through Lagos?
Why is Tinubu not decentralizing the seaports? Why is Lagos State the only state that has two functional seaports with international airports? Also have domestic way. Why are people not asking questions? Even when the former governor of Lagos State, Ambode, called on the need to decongest the Apapa Wharf, he was criticized by certain individuals who had vested interests. Now, you are busy decentralizing the institutions in the north so that each region could feel the impact and have access, easy access, and of course, benefit from the opportunities that could bring to the regions, which is well welcomed and accepted. But then why are you not looking into other institutions and facilities that have been concentrated on the Lagos shores? Lagos, by landmark, happens to be the smallest state in Nigeria. Housing those facilities, you have the two seaports, functional seaports in the whole country, where you have over 200 and something million people, is only sited in Lagos. Why is the same president who saw the need to decentralize the Nigerian College of Aviation and Technology, split it to 6 campuses across geopolitical zones? Why is the president not seeing the need to decongest that Papa War? We have functional seaports in Warri, in Delta, in Rivers, in Calabar, and of course in parts of Omahia that links to the ocean. Why is it only Lagos? Among the 6 geopolitical zones, only Lagos has 2 functional seaports, and people are not calling for equity, fairness, and balance in the system. The reason why the region, other regions are being unduly and unfairly treated. If the government saw the need to decentralize the Nigerian College of Aviation and Technology to 6 geopolitical zones, why is the government, the same government, not seeing the need to decentralize, to move, decongest the ports, the seaports? We have deep waters in Calabar. We have deep waters in Rivers. We have deep waters in Delta. We have deep waters across Benue, Kogi region that will serve the north for easy accessibility, convenience, and of course, saving costs. Why must everything come to Lagos before you start moving them through haulage and the rest of them? Paying the tax, remitting tax to Lagos, and Lagos claimed to be the biggest economy in West Africa. Why not? Biggest industries and the rest of them are sited in Lagos. This is unfair. This is unjust balance. As the North, we are crying that Tinubu is moving national institutions that have been there even before pre-colonial eras, splitting them to 6 campuses. It is a laudable development for easy accessibility, convenience, and also providing expansions and creation of jobs to those regions. Why is that not being considered when issues of Lagos State comes to fore? So upon assumption of office, he moved some parts of branch of Central Bank to Lagos, back to Lagos. Nobody cried out. Why is Tinubu not moving, taking the same step You have the biggest industries, facilities, offices are being sited in Lagos. Why not move it to other regions to create opportunities for the region to expand? Just as someone, as very dark man, that Lagos is the reason why Nigeria is not moving forward. The reason why other regions are not growing, are not developing. Because it seems there is a conspiracy to monopolize the entire sector of the economy and tap it with the Lagos state. Lagos happens to be the smallest state in terms of landmark, but have the highest concentration of parastatus facilities, monuments, institutions in Lagos State. Does it mean such could strive in Delta, in Asaba, in Onitsha, in Enugu, and Port Harcourt, and Kogi, Benue? So that is important. Let me leave you with this as very dark man throw more light on this. You see, people cannot continue to live in that denial, or people are afraid of speaking the truth, pointing out the imbalance in the system that needed to be corrected, not only when it affects the North. Yes, as you're doing it in the North, equity, justice demands you also duplicate it to let the people know that you have no other ulterior motive, that you are doing that in the interest of the masses, not to vulcanize that of the North, and you protect the Southwest because that is where you come from. Majority of importers are from the southern region. Precisely, most traveled are from the southern eastern region. Although travels, the eastern people are the majority, of course, when it comes to importation and the rest of them. Why not site in Onitsha? If it's Onitsha is not possible, why not Calabar? Why not Rivers? Why not Delta? Why not, of course, cocoa depot or seaport in Edo State? So complete functional, over functional refinery with deep sea. This we are functioning even pre-colonial eras, when the white landed in Calabar and used Calabar as the capital of Nigeria. So all these things have been functional. Why suddenly everything went down the drain and no longer operational, in question, only in papers? Let me leave you with this. Of course, it's time to begin to ask questions, just as the president of the ordinary president, also raised concerns. Why not in the east? Why not in Delta, in Rivers, in Cross River, and the rest of them? To ensure fair play and even distribution of growth. If everything is concentrated, this is the reason why the population of Lagos keep exploding. Houses are more costly than usual. You begin to ask, what is the problem?
I think Lagos is the state that is slowing the whole Nigeria down. And at this point, after thinking through all of this, I think Lagos should be made a country of its own. And here's why. Why must everything come through Lagos? Like anybody will import anything, the container must land for Lagos. And they get other options where they can create other seaports. Why must everything land and come through Lagos? You know, think about it. Lagos is actually slowing Nigeria down. Because imagine if we get other ports, like maybe we'll get the Delta State ports, may take care of all those eastern region. Say, container land for Delta State. The people where they do Anambra who can carry from Delta State ports. People where they do Enugu and all those neighboring states where they are Anambra side for that region who can carry from Delta State. It will make things actually the cheaper. Do you understand? Come to think of it, Lagos is really slowing this country down. Make I park. None of it's making sense. Lagos is our problem. Lagos is our problem. Imagine say we get ports for Kogi, this land for port. People are there, Abuja, Kaduna, all these neighboring states for that region. Go come carry from there. It could actually make things day cheaper than when everything, bro, everything land in Lagos. Not just that. Bro, international flights. Most of the times people go through Lagos. Every other international airport we get for Nigeria, they just call them international airports, but they are abandoned. You cannot actually connect to like major countries from every other international airport apart from Lagos. Yes, some of them come to Abuja, but the main people fly from Lagos. By this time, Anambra and some states suppose don't get like major, like Enugu now, suppose don't get like major international flight. Edo states, when we say we they travel steady, Edo people they travel steady. Why don't we have an international airport where we and Delta states go to use? If they really want this country to grow, Lagos is supposed to be a country of its own, because Lagos is actually slowing the growth of Nigeria down. Entertainment is in Lagos. The big companies are in Lagos. Production company, the big ones are in Lagos. Lagos should actually be a country of its own. And I think my Igbo brothers, at this point, why would not they fight for Biafra? They could not see the fight. Say, may they leave Lagos. May they break Lagos away, or may they distribute within they go Lagos to every other state. Yeah, that should be a fight. Yeah. Because all these big Igbo businessmen, now through Lagos, may they fight, may they carry ports come Delta State. So that all these ones so they get business on each main market. Bro, these people know what they are doing, fam. Where all the senators, where they represent all these states, I think this is what you should push for if you truly desire, say, make Nigeria grow. Come be like, saying that the stakeholders of Lagos State, no wonder when they'll say revenue of Lagos big past Ghana. It is because Lagos, they actually cheat every other part of Nigeria. Lagos is robbing everybody off. Lagos State is milking the whole country. Wow. How come I'm just thinking about this now? I hit my head for bed for somewhere. I think our Igbo brothers and every other reasonable Nigeria, well-meaning Nigerians, should start preaching that Nigeria, they should either take Lagos away or they should actually bring Biafra. Because now, yes, it's either they cut Lagos and make Lagos a country, or Biafra should happen, or they should distribute everything. Give us at least 3 seaports in different regions. International airports should be in at least 18 states. At least 18 states. It will open doors for businesses in those states. To open doors for investors, more investors to come in some states to come and actually do business. Bro, Lagos is our problem. Lagos is indeed the problem of Nigeria. Yeah, bad leaders are part of it, but Lagos State, that's the one.
Now, I believe that the picture is getting more clearer now. Why are other regions neglected? Could they be politically calculated with intention to politically or economically sideline other regions? Every region has equal opportunity for growth. There's a popular saying, every learner is a potential achiever if given equal opportunity. Every learner is a potential achiever if given equal opportunity. There's no equal opportunity distribution. People who have comparative advantage are not being given opportunity to harness the enormous opportunities at their disposal, their comparative advantage. How many seaport does Cotonou have? Mostly they leverage on importation. What stops, you can imagine the canvassing how many thousands of kilometers just to move your haulage, your goods through haulage from Lagos to Abuja. from Lagos, from Apapa Wharf to Kano, from Apapa Wharf to Onitsha, to Owerri, to Port Harcourt, to Calabar, and the rest of them. All the imports are being related to Lagos State. But if they are being decentralized, of course, the East will have their own seaports. The same way Tinubu, of course, decentralized the aviation campus college to seize geopolitical zones. Let it also embark on that in the area of aviation. In the area of seaports. The Southeast deserve to have a fun seaport. They have access to deep sea, which links to the ocean, Mediterranean Sea. We have Port, we have Delta, we have Calabar, and when it comes to North Central, Kogi also have opportunity to have a functional seaport, so that it will be very easy for those in the northern region to access their goods to their importations, and that will reduce the cost of the commodities and save the risk of having to move them through roads with this state of the roads infrastructure. Sometimes people end up losing their goods, either being robbed or due to the bad roads might even get out. So these are important issues of concern being raised. Destabilizing a particular regions just to get undue advantage over them. These are issues that must be raised. Yes, as you are celebrating Tinubu, this vulcanizing, decentralizing the national college of aviation and technology to seize geopolitical zones for easy accessibility, convenience, and creating opportunities for those regions. It is also important to look into the reason why those functional are not working. Politically motivated, of course, not being far from that, as a matter of fact, but at the high time we begin to tell ourselves the truth. This unfair balance system cannot continue. It is not in the interest of the development. One particular state becoming more richer than every other state. We begin to ask, what was the magic behind this? That is important. It is good to create an enabling environment for every region to strive. So for very dark man to have raised this concern, of course, he's not the first person to have raised the concern. People have been discussing about this issue, punching about this economic strategy and manipulations and the rest of them. Lagos is not the only deep sea. It's not even one of the most deepest sea in Nigeria. You have the Calabars. The river flows. They have to navigate all through those terrain. You pass Calabar, you pass rivers, you pass Delta, and you come into Lagos to bet. I don't know if you understand what's happening. And also functional, one of the importers who said he paid for Enugu International Airport for his goods to land in Enugu International Airport. Eventually, of course, there is difference in price, in cost. That of Enugu was more costlier to Lagos, but he preferred paying for Enugu so that he wouldn't spend additional costs, of course, moving the goods from Seaport through roads to Enugu. That it's better he pays the import duty or whatever cost to land his own goods to Enugu. That will be more preferable. Eventually, they moved the same goods to Lagos. Upon inquiry, they told him that the Enugu International Airport is just on paper. It doesn't exist. You can't move haulage from China to Enugu, but it's been regarded as international airports. How many countries could be accessed directly from Enugu, could take off from Enugu? Mainly in Lagos or preferably in Abuja. Imagine the cost of conversing from Igbo State, from Enugu down to Lagos. Of course, additional cost of boarding an aircraft and before you start taking off to your respective designation. So it's high time for people to begin to discuss this. And the people in the corridor of power are sincere, of course. They should be able to tell themselves, we have been living in this denial for ages. And people are no longer comfortable with these current realities. People are seeing it very clearly as a direct subjugation, suppression of the region. The region has the potential, the ability to grow. And people should be given the opportunity to make their choice. Not being conditioned to accept even what is not convenient for them. Whereas there are better alternatives, better options that could have been explored. So these are issues of concern, and this has, in as much as we fail to address this, of course, resentment will continue to build up. People are getting aware, being conscious of the political realities and economic politics that is going on and manipulations. So, that was not wrong to have raised these concerns, to lend his voice to the ready campaign for decentralization, not just only in issues that affect other regions.